Hey there, happy Tuesday. I just wanted to make a video real quick to talk about a little experiment that I did on Saturday, or it was Sunday. It was Sunday. I went to 3 different labs, Target, Walgreens, and Costco, and had 8x10s printed of these 2 images. Now, I chose these 2 images for very specific reasons. For the newborn image, I chose because I knew that I had spent a lot of time perfecting, at least in my eyes, getting her skin tone as close to life as possible. I spent a lot of time on her skin tone, and I know a lot of printers don't really do very well on skin tones, and for portrait photographers, that's like, you do trainings, hours of training on skin tones to get it right. And the little girl, Kaya, and her dog Suede, I wanted that one because this picture has a lot of depth to it. And when I edited it, that was a goal of mine. And I know that sometimes printers can either add too much contrast and make it look really yucky, like so. You probably can't really see it, or they could totally flatten it out where there's basically no shadows. Now I know a lot of people have done this before. You can Google and find lab comparisons and why photographers don't recommend printing at specific labs. But I don't think it was as effective for me until I did it with my own images. Then I decided that I am no longer selling digital images as a primary product. I can't do it. I got these in my car and I sat down in the car and opened them up and almost cried. Almost cried. Look at the difference between them. How in the world can you ever create something that has consistency if you don't know where they're being printed? There's no consistency. So this one is Walgreens, which was the worst. That is disgusting. The baby is gorgeous, of course, but it just, look at the difference between Walgreens, Costco, Alien Baby. What in the world? How did the shadows go green? And then this one was from Target, which was, their contrast was washed out, but the highlights are green. And I know this is a cell phone picture, so it's probably hard to really tell, but you could tell between the 3 different images how very different they are. And I'll post in a comment the original images so you can see the difference. And I have big prints of these in my studio. I have, I believe, a 24x30 canvas of this newborn from the same session. It's a different image, but it's the same session, same processing. And I have a, I want to say 16x20 of this one printed in my lab, or in my studio, and they do not look like this. So yeah, there's a good comparison, and I'd highly, highly recommend, if you're doing the whole shoot and burn thing, and I know that's a way of business, and I'm not hating on anyone who does it, but if you really spend a lot of time editing your images and creating them to look a specific way in your mind, do not hand over that disc. Look at this. How can you expect consistency with your clients' images? If I saw this on my client's wall, I would be horrified. Absolutely horrified. I spent so much time getting that image the way I wanted it in Photoshop. And I know in my lab, my professional lab, I know it prints just like on my screen. But there's no way I can create an image that I know is going to print consistently at whatever lab the client chooses. There's no way. You can't do it. So you don't know what's going to happen when they print those images. It could look like this, and then they're going to point at that wall and say, oh, so-and-so did this picture. It's so perfect. No, it looks awful. It's awful. So there's my realization, and I know a lot of photographer friends are probably clapping and saying I told you so, but I just can't do it anymore. I can't, in my mind, consciously just hand over a disc and say, here you go, print them where you want. Because look at it. No one can. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you do a lot of post-processing editing work and you do shoot and burn, where your conscious lies on that, because I don't understand. I don't understand how I still continue to do it. Oh, I feel like I need to email all my clients and apologize. It's a disservice. The next time I will get 5x7s printed, because I know they use different printers for their 8x10s and their 5x7s. Oh, and another thing that I noticed while I was printing, not a single one of these labs asked me for a print release. And they have fun little buttons at the bottom of the little kiosk that allow you to spot color, which for photographers, most photographers, that is like cutting your Achilles heel. You just don't do it. And they add like sepia and black and white and add contrast, and they can edit them however they want, which is fun for your like snapshots at home. But when you go to a portrait artist and you have your portraits taken and they edit them and they hand them over, it's like, I don't even know how to put that into words. To me, it kills me. Why is she green? Why are they green? I don't know. Okay, this video is getting very long, but I was just going to make a blog, and I'll probably still type up a blog about it, but I felt like I needed to speak it rather than type it. So yeah, if you want online consumer-based lab recommendations, I'm happy to give one or two of those, but I would highly recommend staying away from the local labs for your local consumer-based labs for your wall portraits, because holy monkeys, that's pretty bad. Okay, see you later.